Breaking news now on Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
And breaking news right now out of the Vatican, it appears the Cardinals have not elected a new pope, but you can see progress is being made on the vote count. You are looking at black smoke coming out of the Sistine Chapel chimney. This happened just moments ago. Another vote is expected to happen shortly, so you're going to see a small box on the right corner of your screen as we continue to monitor all the developments.
And look at all those people waiting, watching,
I mean, it's so
and
historic.
Waiting. Yeah.
It's cool to see.
Well, it's not uncommon for it to take several votes before
Right.
a pope is selected. And of course, we're going to continue to follow this and stay on it for you. Throughout the morning, you're going to see a box in the lower part of your screen. So when we see any other smoke, hopefully we can all see it together. But my goodness, check out that view. It's really stunning.
And it looks like nice weather, too, which makes it even better.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to have more on that, of course, later this hour and throughout the morning. But good morning to you. And thanks for joining us here at 6 o'clock on Fox 61. I'm Erica Arias.
And I'm Bridget Biorlo. Is starting out as a good morning because the weather is great. It's clear skies and no rain to report. That's new.
At least for now.
Yeah.
Rain does return today and into tomorrow as well. Right now, though, it is starting off quite beautiful. Temperatures are around 54 degrees in Hartford. New Haven is at 57 currently. Elsewhere, as you're stepping out the door now, 51 in Torrington and 57 in Bridgeport. Moving forward today, we're going to increase the cloud coverage. By the afternoon, we're increasing the chance for some scattered showers and storms. Temperature-wise, we'll be up around 71 to about 72 degrees later on today. You'll see those precipitation chances are fairly elevated as we get closer to the later part of the afternoon and into the early evening. If you're in western Connecticut and central areas, I think you have a better opportunity for more in the way of scattered showers and storms than in southeastern Connecticut. Temperatures today around 72 in Trumbull as well as in Bristol, 74 in Hartford, the lower 70s over in southeastern areas. Then for tomorrow, we have issued this weather impact alert for those rounds of heavy rain that are going to be moving in the morning. I think the heaviest stuff is likely after about 10 o'clock, wrapping up at 10 o'clock in the evening. But this does look like it can potentially linger into our Saturday. So we'll have more details on that and what that does to our weekend forecast coming up in just a bit. As we check in with the roads here at 6:02. We are just following road work that is wrapping up for the morning commute, so no major delays to tell you about at this hour. So a live look outside. Well, first, we'll let you know of this closure here. This is flooding over on Route 17A Meadow Road. This is in the Middletown Cromwell area. We typically see this when we have that flood warning up for the Connecticut River, so just give yourself some extra time and avoid the area. If you typically travel in this area, you know it well. Over in Meriden now, both directions are looking good. We do have light volume in Waterbury, 84 east and westbound now, and your drive times along 91 looking pretty good. Rocky Hill to Hartford is around 7 minutes. Bridget and Eric.
All right, Rachel, thank you. 6:03 is your time, and now it's 6. 4 people are in the hospital after what police say was an ambush shooting in Hartford. It happened last night.
Fox 61's Glenn Kittle is joining us live from the Hartford Police Department with what we know so far. Glenn, good morning.
Good morning, Bridget. Erica, that shooting happened on Nelson Street around 10 last night. Police say those 4 people who are in the hospital were playing a dice game when people with guns fired upon them and ambushed them. Now, we're going to show you video from the scene that our Fox 61 crews captured last night. Police say when they arrived, they found 2 of those gunshot victims, one of whom was unresponsive. Police say they both had non-life-threatening injuries and were brought to a nearby hospital. The other 2 victims were brought to the hospital in a separate car. Those 2 also had non-life-threatening injuries. Hartford Police Lieutenant Aaron Boisvert described the scene as chaos everywhere. He said investigators found evidence all over the place, including rifle rounds. We spoke to Isis Wiley, who lives nearby. She describes what she heard and saw when the shots rang out.
Yeah, it sounds like fireworks right now. So at the end of the day, I don't understand, what fireworks turned into gunshots. It's a sad situation. I live here. I live out here, and these are the streets that we live on, and it's a sad situation to see this gun violence.
At this time, we don't know how those 4 in the hospital are doing as of this morning. This is an ongoing investigation with Hartford Major Crimes and the Crime Scenes Division. We'll bring you the latest updates on the case as they enter our newsroom. Live in Hartford, Glenn Kittle, Fox 61.
Glenn, thanks so much. We'll check back in case there's any new developments. Meantime, at 6:04, hours before that scene on Nelson Street, a man was killed in the middle of the afternoon, and this was on Capitol Avenue.
A violent day yesterday. Fox 61's Valerie Moravi has more from several neighbors who witnessed everything unfold right in front of them.
Yeah, Hartford police are now on the hunt for the suspect involved in this homicide, and this is believed to be the 6th homicide in the city this year. Now, people we spoke with in the neighborhood tell us they were terrified and they ran for their life moments after those gunshots rang out.
A young man is now dead after being shot in broad daylight in Hartford.
You know, there's kids here, there's a lot of things going on, and then for this to happen in the day is just, it's really sad.
Jordan Burrell moved to the neighborhood about a year ago. He says his heart goes out to the victim's family.
Right now, my heart is beating for this person because it's just so sad. It's just, man, I pray that his family can find whoever did this.
Police say the shooting happened at 1:30 p.m. on Capitol Avenue between James Street and Royal Avenue. The victim, 25-year-old Jared Floyd, was rushed to the hospital where he was later pronounced dead. A man who did not want to be on camera said he and several others ran to safety as soon as they heard gunshots.
I was really shocked because I had my granddaughter with me. I was in that building right there, and I heard 2 gunshots, and that's about it, and everybody scattered. It was real bad.
Although it is unclear whether Floyd and the suspect knew each other, Burrell says this is more than a gun violence issue.
Guns will always be there. It's the people who need the tension to de-escalate the tension.
With concerns about safety in the city beginning to rise, especially with the temperatures rising as well, Burrell says this is a friendly neighborhood and he still feels safe in the area.
You are as safe as you are, The normal thing that I do is pray and just be positive, and that's all I can do is walk in faith.
Again, the shooting remains under investigation, but anyone with information about this killing is asked to contact Hartford Police. All tips can be made anonymously. In Hartford, Valerie Moravi, Fox 61.
6:07 right now, and here we are once again, a live look at the Vatican, where the Cardinals are set to vote for a second time today. Now, just in the last 15 minutes, we saw black smoke come out of that chimney at the Sistine Chapel, so that means no one got the necessary 2/3 majority vote to become the next pope. There are 133 cardinals participating, so 89 votes are needed. And we're going to keep an eye on that iconic papal chimney, which is the only signal from the conclave, if a new pope has been chosen.
And it is common for there to be no decision out of the first vote, even the second. The last 4 popes elected had at least 3 rounds of voting. Pope John Paul I was elected in a 3rd ballot. That was in 1978, but he died 33 days later. Then Pope John Paul II was elected after 8 ballots later that year. And Pope Benedict XVI was elected in 4 ballots in 2005. And finally, Pope Francis was elected on the 5th ballot in 2013. So it does take multiple voting periods. And as we await the election of a new pope here in Connecticut, local voices are painting a picture of what they hope to see in the next leader of the Catholic Church.
Fox 61's Angela Bavaro is in New Haven with more from local Catholics here in our state.
When you ask that question, what are you looking for in the next pope? Of course, you're going to get a lot of different answers. But the local Catholics that we spoke with all agree they're looking for a unifier. At St. Peter's Square in Vatican City, the crowd is waiting on white smoke to rise out of the Sistine Chapel chimney to signify a new pope.
When we talk about seeing history, you are seeing history right now.
More than 4,000 miles away at Southern Connecticut State University in New Haven, Sidney Crockett and Jack Abbott are also waiting. Both students are members of the Catholic Ministry Newman Society.
The Pope brings us together as Catholics, and he just kind of sets the precedent for Catholics to follow.
As 133 cardinals from around the world decide who that person should be in a secretive centuries-old ritual, Catholics in Connecticut are sharing their hopes.
I feel like Pope Francis was a very progressive pope, and I just hope that we'll have someone come in and take his place.
This isn't like an election where we should have people who are picking for, who we want to win. No matter who's chosen, we should be happy to see this next era of the church.
To bring more peace, talks about justice, collaboration within the countries, care for the creation, the environment, outreaching to the places that need our help the most.
For much of the past century, it's taken between 3 and 14 ballots to find a new pope. Reporting in New Haven, I'm Angelo Bafaro, Fox 61.
All right, Angelo, thank you very much. 6:10 is your time. Another Amazon distribution warehouse is coming to our state, and it brings the total number of Amazon facilities in Connecticut to 17. The plan to bring a warehouse to Enfield is once again a hot topic among those who live there. Fox 61's Kate Pattyfoot spoke with those who live right near the property to find out why they're opposed to the new build.
It's been a few years since a court case ruled in favor of Winstanley selling off its 200 acres of land off to Amazon. However, some people in Enfield are still upset about this deal and are speaking out as this warehouse moves into their neighborhood.
Most of us here near the lake, we're against it altogether.
Why is Amazon even coming here? We don't need any more distribution plants. That's pretty much what America's come down to, is we just distribute. Everything's become a subscription. We don't make anything anymore.
Amazon has bought 200 acres of land off of 35 Beacon Road in Enfield. That land will be used for their newest distribution facility in the state. People who live near the site, like Karen Marinaccio and Detrick Gonzalez, say they're not happy about this soon-to-be new neighbor.
There's going to be more traffic. There's going to be a lot more trucks.
Tractor trailers, more building, more industrial on a property that's really intended to be lake property, lake community. So we weren't expecting it to be built up even more.
Marinaccio is also worried about property values in the area.
In the sense that there's many people that, certainly will make changes as a result. So it certainly could be an effect.
The land that Amazon bought was approved by the town of Enfield officials years ago for the construction of a large warehouse. As of now, there is no date set for construction to start for the new distribution facility. In Enfield, Kate Pattyfoot, Fox 61.